Listen and practice. It was quite late at night. Most people in the village were sleeping. Only a few oil lamps were burning in some huts here and there. In a small house, a girl of 12 was doing her homework and waiting for her grandmother to come to bed. Her grandmother was still working in the kitchen. The girl's name was Kajal. Her parents were dead, so she lived with her grandmother. After some time, the grandmother came in. She found Kajal asleep on the mat. Wake up, Kajal, she said. Let's go to bed now. You may finish your homework tomorrow. Kajal got up to go to bed. She turned it round, and what did she see? In the dim light of the oil lamp, she saw a pair of feet under their bed. A thief. When did he come in? When Kajal was sleeping on the mat. Listen and practice. Hamlet was the prince of Denmark. He lost his father, the king of Denmark. So Hamlet was very sad. Claudius, his uncle, had killed his father and became the king. Hamlet came to know that his uncle had killed his father. He became angry as he used to love his father very much. He decided to punish his uncle. Horatio was the dear friend of Hamlet. Hamlet began to think how he would take revenge. Listen and practice. The story is very old. Many children enjoy on hearing it. A husband and wife did not have any child and they felt very sad. There was a rose in their garden. One day they found a baby boy inside the rose. He was as small as man's thumb. He never grew bigger. They called him Tom Thumb. Tom's mother was very happy. She made fine clothes for him. He had a green coat and yellow trousers. On his head he wore a yellow hat with a feather in it. His mother made for him leather boots no bigger than pen nibs. Tom loved wearing his clothes. He asked his mother for a sword and shield. He wanted to be a soldier and do brave things. Listen and practice. It was my second year at boarding school and I was sitting on platform number 8 at Ambala station waiting for the northern bound train. I think I was about 12 at that time. My parents considered me old enough to travel alone, and I had arrived by bus at Ambala early in the evening. Now there was a wait till midnight before my train arrived. Most of the time I had been patching up and down the platform, browsing at the bookstall or feeding broken biscuits to stray dogs. Trains came and went, and the platform would be quiet for a while, and then, when a train arrived, it would be an inferno of having, shouting, agitated human bodies. As the carriage doors opened, a tide of people would sweep down upon the nervous little ticket collector at the gate, and every time this happened, I would be caught in the rush and swept outside the station. Now, tired of this game and ambling about the platform, I sat down on my suitcase and gazed dismally across the railway tracks. Trolleys rolled past me, and I was conscious of the cries of the various vendors, the man who sold cards and lemon, the sweetmeat seller, the newspaper boy, but I had lost interest in all that went on along the busy platform and continued to stare across the railway tracks, feeling bored and a little lonely. Listen and practice. Pele, the king of football, was born in a village in Brazil on 23rd October 1940, and his first trainer was his father Don Dinho. Later the Brazilian coach Fiola trained him. He played his first football game for Santos Club in 1951. In 1957, he played his first match for Brazil in the national team against Argentina. The very next year, he played in the World Cup match against Sweden. Listen and practice. Long ago, there was a shelf in a country. His name was Rakesh. He committed an offence, so he was punished. Out of fear, he ran away from his master's house and lived in a cave. In that cave lived a big lion. A thorn struck into his left foot, so he felt great pain and could not walk properly. He came limping towards Rakesh. Rakesh saw the thorn. He boldly came forward and drew it out. The lion got rid of the pain and felt relief. Later on, Rakesh was caught and brought to the town and was asked to fight a hungry lion. It was the same lion whose thorn and Rakesh had drawn out. The lion at once recognized him and quietly lay down at his feet. Listen and practice. At last, Gaffer decided that he would leave this place. Gaffer was a poor farmer. His wife died a few years ago. His only companion was Amina, Gaffar's daughter. She was a very quiet, soft-spoken girl. She did all domestic work and looked after her father Gafar, and she even helped her father in his work. He knew Amina was an unfortunate daughter. As father, he could not do justice to his daughter. This very thought made him very sad. Ghaffar understood that his future was dark, full of helplessness. Still Ghaffar thought that he must fight, must fight. Listen and practice. In the 17th century, a farmer and his family lived in Lincolnshire in England. He sent his son to school where he was only 4 years old. The child had no interest in studies. He spent most of the time making things with his own hands. One day, while the teacher was teaching history, the boy was busy drawing a windmill on a sheet of paper. The teacher saw this. He came to him and took away the paper from him. The teacher was going to tear the sheet of paper. "Sir," said the boy, "please give me any other punishment, but please don't tear the paper. I am going to make a model of the windmill." "You must listen to your teacher in the classroom," said the teacher, and he returned the paper. Listen and practice. Gandhiji wanted to live like the poorest of the people. He always traveled third class in trains. Once Gandhiji got up at Bombay from a third class railway compartment. A large crowd of people had gathered there to greet Gandhiji. Among them were some American ladies and gentlemen. They went to Gandhiji's compartment and saw it was very uncomfortable. They decided to go and ask him. One of the gentlemen said, "You are a great leader of the Indian people, but why do you travel third class?" Gandhiji laughed and said, "The answer is very simple. I travel third class because there is no fourth." He laughed and the Americans also laughed with him. Listen and practice. Mrs. Sarojini Naidu was a great follower of Mahatma Gandhi. She was a freedom fighter. India is proud of her. She was born at Hyderabad, but her father was a Bengali. He was a great scholar. He had studied modern science. He also studied Indian literature. He founded the Nizam's College at Hyderabad. His wife was a poet. She had written beautiful poems.